is LBC from Global, leading Britain's conversation with Nick Abbot.
My dog's been taken.
Well, let's get back to it.
Severe yellow cold health alerts have been issued across the UK as Britons prepare for a cold snap which could bring sub-zero temperatures and snow. Snow?
Oh, no.
The alerts are in place across the northeast, the southwest, Yorkshire and the Humber and the southeast, which sounds like everywhere to me. From right now until 9 a.m. on Tuesday, some parts of the UK will see temperatures drop to -7 centigrade. And I would translate European surrender centigrade to His Majesty's Fahrenheit, but that would mean doubling a minus number and then adding 32. But as any fool know, you can't double a minus number, so there is literally no way of doing that.
Correct.
And the weather we'll be getting is due to a cold easterly wind drifting in from Scandinavia. We'll be breathing second-hand Scandinavian air. Who knows what they may have been doing in it?
Disgusting.
And here's the thing, the south of England can expect rain and sleet and snow over the weekend, while it is expected to be brighter in the northwest.
What?
Brighter in the northwest? I think not. I'll have to check on that while you wait. One moment, please. God, blooming awful here. Glasgow. Aha. Well, it's not raining in Glasgow at the moment. Can you believe that?
No.
Neither will it be raining tomorrow or raining on Sunday, nor will it be raining on Monday. It will, however, be raining on Tuesday and Wednesday, but not Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But yes on Sunday and yes on Monday. No on Tuesday the 18th and yes on Wednesday the 19th. And you may get sun on Thursday the 20th.
What?
Actual real-life sun. Do you have anything to wear for sun? Met Office Chief Meteorologist Frank said high pressure is set to move in, bringing with it some easterly winds, low temperatures and an increasing risk of wintry hazards like snow and ice. And road safety experts suggested that if you encounter treacherous driving conditions, you should always speed up and try to overtake on the inside when going round a corner, because you are special and nothing bad will ever happen to you. Of course, if you're driving an Audi, you will already be doing this.
Thank you.
Outlook till Tuesday. Windy, rainy, snowy, coldy. Would you like to hear the long-range forecast for the next 4 weeks?
No.
OK, middle 2 weeks of February. Cold, brisk winds, light rain, hill, snow. Temperatures expected to be below normal with some overnight frost, which will exacerbate the cold, particularly in the south of the UK. Blimey, it's like winter outside. And then the last week in February, the first week in March. March. It's practically March already. The clocks are about to go forward. The light will come in. And then it'll be summer. It's practically autumn already. It's nearly Jesus' birthday again. Last week in February, first week in March, after periods of rain or snow, a transition to more unsettled but less cold conditions. Rather more unsettled but less cold conditions? We'll take it. And January is typically considered the coldest month, the most miserable month. But scientists at the EU, the EU's Copernicus Climate Change Service, have revealed that January this year was the hottest January on record as in ever. But as they are experts in possession of facts, no one was remotely interested in anything they had to say. The global average air temperature was almost 1 degree above the 1991 to 2020 average for January. The hottest January on record. Do you know when the previous hottest January was? That's right. Last year. Are you beginning to notice a trend?
No.
Looking forward, 2025 could set a record for the hottest months the world has ever seen, similar to the run of records set in 2024. Last December, November, October and September were all the second hottest for those respective months, as in ever. That's according to the Copernicus Climate Change Service, and August 2024 was the joint warmest August globally, tied with the August from the previous year. And the Copernicus Climate Change Service, they look at temperature readings from a variety of instruments, such as weather stations, balloons and satellites, But as you know, taking measurements from instruments is now considered to be a lefty liberal thing, so we're going to pretend that none of this means anything and hope that by turbocharging oil extraction in America that Donald Trump knows what he is doing. We're doomed. According to the Copernicus Climate Change Service, who call themselves C3S, which is better, because if every time you answer the phone, you had to say, "Hello, Copernicus Climate Change Service, how may I direct your call?" You'd just lose your mind. C3S, not CCS, because that was a rock band in the 1970s.
Rock and roll!
Not them. According to CS3, which is based in Bonn in Germany, last month was 1.75 degrees centigrade above the January average since 1850. Wow. And scientists have said that increases in temperatures will lead to more severe storms and droughts and floodings and heat waves, and it's not like you can see any of that actually happening in front of your eyeballs as long as you refuse to look. But looking now is considered woke. But it doesn't matter whether you believe in climate change or not. It's gonna get you anyway. David emails, "I don't think Trump is dad robot dancing. He is just marvelling at his opposable thumbs." Your husband has opposable thumbs, Melania.
I don't care.
She really isn't that bothered. "I can hold things. Nobody ever did that before." Craig emails, "Trump has been signing more executive orders this week, including plans for Disneyland Gaza, the Trump Casino Gaza, and the Trump Hotel Gaza." Yes, of course. He hasn't been doing his big boy squiggle on a piece of paper, but he's doing it in his mind. I wonder which one will go bust first. My money's on the casino. How can you lose money with a casino? He managed to find a way. Daryl says, "I know you don't like golf." Golf? Oh, that's very interesting.
Boring.
I know you don't like golf, but could you be persuaded to play if the golf course was in a really prime location such as the Gaza Riviera? Donald Trump has totally lost what was left of his mind. Marshall says, "Hi, Nick, the entire country is depressed. It's your job to cheer us up. No pressure. Okay, how about this?" There you are. You feel happier now? Fleet in Hampshire. Hello, Kirsty.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
I am great, mate.
Good. I was just telling your assistant that I was chatting at work about the nuttiness of Donald Trump, and he's literally asking to be shot.
Uh-oh.
And as a joke.
I don't think he's literally asking to be shot.
Well, okay, hang on a minute. He's messed with so many groups of people, but at the beginning of this week, when he messed with the FBI agents, I just thought, that's it. I started a sweepstake at work.
Yeah, I don't think FBI agents are going to shoot the President of the United States of America.
Really?
Not again, anyway.
You are so naive. He's messed with so many groups, and he's joking aside, crossed the line this week. I don't think he's going to make the end of this year.
All right. Okay. Thanks a lot, Kirsty. Can you get me a dictionary? I want to look up naive. Does it mean thin? Svelte, I think. Masculine is perhaps what she meant by that. Naive. How do you spell it? Nigheve. Look that up. Thanks a lot, Kirsty. You've put yourself on a list. I hope you're aware of that. Don't travel to America anytime soon. Or anywhere, in fact. I would draw the curtains and lock the front door. Or move would be a good idea. Sleep in your car for a while. Never sleep in the same place twice. These are all good pieces of advice, Kirsty. I hope you're writing this stuff down. Matron not matron. Matron's on the line, smug.
I don't know anything.
Matron texts, "I know we're a long way from Jesus' birthday and the subsequent 2025 A to Z, but I'm thinking you might need to dedicate 2 or 3 complete shows just for the letter T." Just a hunch. Yeah, well, yeah. T and C. Trump, craziness.
Oh, shut up!
There'll be a lot of it about. Ian says, "My Auntie Winnie has asteroids. You can get a cream for it." Yeah, we're going to have asteroids soon. Yeah, never mind about all of this stuff. All of this. All of this. Look around. Everything is about to go kaput because there's an asteroid hurtling towards us.
Oh, no.
But, no big deal. It's just going to be the end for mankind, that's all. A better than even chance that the entire planet is going to get blown off course and a tsunami wave 1,000 feet high is going to be coming your way soon. A better than even chance. I think you'll find that is mathematically correct. Eventually. Ian says, oh no, I read that. His Auntie Winnie still got asteroids. Even after the application of cream.
Text 84850. Alexa, send a comment to LBC.
You've got a good, your mind is a little bit, three-dimensional.
This text I had to look up during that break. Keith says, Trump just signed an executive order banning paper straws. Ridiculous but true. And I thought, rubbish. No such thing just happened. Well, guess what? Such a thing just happened.
What?
Yeah. President Donald Trump said he would sign an executive order ending the ridiculous Biden push for paper straws which don't work. Back to plastic, he posted on his social media platform, all in capital letters with an exclamation mark. I mean, what is happening? In addition to working with the private sector, other stakeholders and state, local, tribal and territorial governments to reduce the impact of plastic pollution, the American government planned to phase out federal procurement of single-use plastics from the food service operations, events and packaging by 2027 and from all federal operations by 2025. That was a little bit too much information. I started out on that and I thought, there's way too many words in this, but I've started, so I'll have to finish. Anyway, they were going to phase out the single-use plastic in America. But now Donald Trump has brought the plastic back. Because he finds it very, very difficult to, draw the liquid through the straw. There's a man who you wouldn't think would need help to suck. 0345 6060 973. York. Hello, Ashton.
Oh, good evening, Nick. How are you?
I am good, thanks.
My problem is with the straws. I think, it's not to do with the straws, but I think good for Trump because, in all honesty, I don't think us humans are having that much of an effect on the climate to begin with.
Is that your considered opinion?
That is my opinion. Yeah, because
right.
I'm being stiffed with my company car at the moment. The tax has gone up on it. Sadly, I had a diesel, but that's not got a big effect on the whole impact of things. I think
is that your considered opinion?
Yes.
Right. So these things don't have much of an effect because why?
It's still cold in the morning every day. Whether it's
it hasn't been solved already. No, good point, Ashton. If at first you don't succeed, give up. Good idea. Tom says, have you seen that ridiculous photo of Elon Musk wearing an oversized MAGA hat in the Oval Office? He looks like a giant toddler. Oh, and the weather is awful. Thanks a lot, Meghan Markle. Yeah, thanks a lot, Meghan Markle. No! She's doing a cookery show without cooking, apparently. And the Daily Mail is absolutely furious about it. First of all, they were furious that she was doing a cookery show. Then they were furious that she postponed the release of that cookery show. And now they're furious that the cookery show is back on the menu, and they're further furious that she doesn't do much cooking in the cookery show. That's you all caught up. Other stories about Meghan Markle are available, about 86 million of them, on the Daily Mail online site. Archie texts, why is America not up in arms at unelected President Musk running the show? Because it upsets the Liberals. Hang on. Oh, I think I've had a bit of apple go down the wrong way. One moment, please. Fresh, delicious water. Why is America not up in arms at unelected President Musk running the show? Well, literally that, because it upsets the Liberals. Half of America don't mind what happens to them as long as it upsets the other side. That's where we're at now. What a way to run a planet, eh?
Dreadful.
Ahmed says, why does this country grind to a halt when it gets a little colder? Doesn't seem to affect other countries who continue as usual. But when your country is run by Jeremy Corbyn and he chooses Lineker and Markle in his cabinet, what do you expect? All right, I think that joke's getting a bit off now. Can we cut those jokes down to about maybe, 60, 70 per show? 0345 6060 973. Downham. Hello, Darren.
Oh, hello, Nick. Nice to speak to you again, mate.
Thanks.
Yeah, so I was just ringing to say, a couple of weeks ago now, you said about, Donald Trump, about his policies. People voted for him, knowing that he's going to be sort of nasty to some people, and then it could rebound back on them,
Well, what I may have said was people voted for him thinking that he was going to be nasty to other people, and are somewhat surprised that the other people includes them.
Yeah, it's like othering, others othering. Yeah, I was just ringing up to say, I think you're right, sort of appealing to people's bad emotions,
Worst instincts.
Yeah, it's like, as you say, and sort of, like as a philosophy. So, yeah, I think you're right, I just thought I'd ring you again, Nick.
To tell me I'm right. Well, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Darren. I didn't think that's where that call was going. I had my finger hovered over the dump button throughout. Didn't need it. Mary says, so the young want hanging back. Want hanging back? What? Behind, you mean? Or they want the purpose, the process of hanging back? I think they want hanging back. So the young want hanging back and Hitler back. The young want Hitler back. Oh, dear. Something is disagreeing with me in this room. I think this room needs a dust. Can you get on that straight away?
Dust, got it.
I have my own personal dust buster. You don't mind if I call you Buster, do you?
That's fine.
Okay. Mary says, so the young want hanging back and Hitler back. And Trump supporters call LBC. So I've decided to not care anymore. Mary doesn't care anymore. The human race can all go to hell in a handcart. I'm free of worrying about these gutter snipes, says Mary. Wow, what an excellent word that is. Gutter snipes. What does that mean? I mean, I get the gutter part, but what's a snipe when it's at home? I mean, it sounds like an animal that lives in a gutter, as opposed to a hedge snipe. Like an urban species of the snipe family. Well, don't worry about it, Mary, because everything is going to come to a crashing halt. And I do mean crashing, because there's an asteroid on its way to a location near you. Oh, God. What's wrong with me? I had an apple and I had a tea. You would think that would be healthful. It's actually killing me. Not that I complain about much.
Whinging and whining and moaning.
Alex texts, without even Russia joining in the criticism of sweet potato Hitler and his vow to take over Gaza, in addition to the Panama Canal and Greenland and Canada, I am more convinced than ever that we are reliving the 1930s and that irony has finally died. Is there nothing that Meghan Markle won't do? Okay. All right. Enough of the Meghan Markles. We got it. One per show. Oh, God. Have you got a lozenge? Have you got a fisherman's friend?
I'll see what I can do.
Ask him if he's got a lozenge.
Oh,
my God. Oh, dear. I might make it to the end of this half hour. I'm not sure about the show. Merthyr Tydfil. Jeff.
You all right, Nick?
No. Take over.
Right, well, I was going to talk about this Tice guy. You know the Tice guy? You remember him? He's got the dolly bird out in Dubai.
Dolly bird?
Well, whatever. He's
I'm sorry
actually said.
I'm sorry about this.
He's actually said
put the sound down on you. I'll take over. The thing is, he's actually said that these climate clowns are talking about it getting colder. What do they know? For the last, how many times have I explained to people that the failure of the ice at the North Pole to freeze is going to create a problem for the Atlantic conveyor, the old Gulf Stream, that we will get colder. He's using this as to say that climate change people are literally crazy.
I'm sick of this. I'm sick of people who know better saying this stuff just because they...
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Oh, my God.
All right, Nick, hold fire. Right, I just want to point out that very interesting program on with Matt Fry on C4 last night, where they brought in this leftover hippie, Steve Bannon. He looks like a hobo, and he was sniggering and giggling in the interview, saying that Musk can spend 250 billion, whatever it is, and not miss it. Who could stand up against him? He is the page one of the neoliberal textbook, where you don't give up power, and he more or less was saying that Trump isn't going to go.
Oh, I'm telling you, Trump isn't going to go. He keeps saying, as though... Oh, my God. I've been completely fine all week.
I know you like this. Anyway, the end result of all this is that I consider, this is where I'm going, this is only a diversion. Look, squirrel, they are doing something else. And I think they're going to rob the Treasury.
Oh, my God.
United States Treasury is going to be robbed.
And Donald Trump is not going to give up power. Never.
Yeah.
He's never going to give up power. Americans have had their last election. I don't know why people are doubting this. The next election will be a complete sham, and Donald Trump will win again, and he will have a third term and probably a fourth term after that before handing America over to his...
It's a diversion. They are robbing the Treasury. They're doing it now. They're shutting down the FBI, the aid. All this money is going to be sloshing around. They'll be...
All of the organisations that have been set up to fight fraud have just been... just...
Oh, poor old Nick. You'll be okay. You'll survive.
How do you know?
Well, we're all hoping, Nick. But if I'll always keep a pipe for you.
Oh, right, thanks a lot, Jeff. I'll be dead by the time I get there. Okay, cheers, mate. Oh, dear. I don't know what the hell happened there. I could just only barely get through it. Woo! Oh. And my woo is gone. Woo! Oh. Okay, and calm. Let's see if I can do this. 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nick@lbc.co.uk, and if you're on WhatsApp, it's the same number as the phone. Don't make me read that again. Oh, my God.
84850. Alexa, send a comment to LBC.
He is a very sick and dangerous man.
Yes, I appear to be a very sick and dangerous man. But don't worry, because it's probably not catching. Well, you won't get it where you are anyway. Oh, my God. I've been completely fine all week long. I opened my mouth. I think it's... Has Donald Trump been in this building? Has a representative of Vlad the Insaner been interfering with the studio? Jennifer says, I'm calling Trump's new shade bitter orange. Aldo says, was that the girl from Ipanema you were humming while looking into it? Yes, it was. It says, I hope you put dark rim Ray-Ban sunglasses on while humming it. It's illegal not to. I preferred it when they didn't have writing on the lens. I have an old pair. And they didn't have writing on the lens. Why does everything have to make you look like an advertising billboard these days? I bought your product. Why do I have to advertise it? Maidstone, hello, Tony.
Hi, Nick. I'm glad you come to me now. Now, I wasn't going to tell you what happened. Now, last Wednesday to this Wednesday, I wasn't here. Now, this is going to make a bit more sense, and I think I'm going to make you feel a bit more better. So I'm going to go into what happened with me. Now, whoever employs Nick Abbott, we can't have him going down on us. Can you get this geezer a Strepsil or something? Because I think that will help. But anyway, so this is my story. I was in hospital from last Wednesday until this Wednesday. I had a freak accident, broke my ankle. So I'm recovering. I have literally been not knowing what's from... Yeah, because I was in London on the Tuesday last week. I was on that awful Bakerloo line, lost my smartphone, got back home to Maidstone, had a freak accident, and, broke my ankle.
What a day. How'd you lose your...
yeah. But, so looked after, had a nice detox, and I was a bit out of it. So I haven't really been aware of what's been going on, but managed to get a new smartphone, so I lost my phone on the on that Bakerloo line.
How'd you lose your phone?
Oh, Nick, I'm a nightmare. But it has been found. But when you've got...
Wait a minute. So you lost your phone and somebody found it and handed it in?
No. I lost it on the tube with my friend, but...
You lost your friend?
No. I lost the phone, but they rung. But it's in Queen's Park. But both my parents who do drive, my dad's in Thailand and my mum is on a cruise in Germany with her sister. So I was in hospital for a week, didn't have any kind of communication, was being very looked after. So I'm recovering now.
You were in hospital for several days because of a broken ankle.
I was in there for 7 days. Yes, I was. Yeah,
that's a bit much. Isn't it?
There was some. I was suffering from severe dehydration, so that was a bit of concern.
You lost your tap.
So to get through the show, I think you're going to be fine. I think you need a little Strepsil or a bit of hot water and lemon.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Take when you drink some water, take little sips.
Little sips, yeah.
Yeah, little sips, yeah. Take a sip. I just wanted to talk about that. But, my main thing was I was catching up with some of the stuff. And, it was Ian Dale, actually. I saw it on Instagram. Why don't you follow anyone on Instagram, by the way, on Abbott's camera?
I keep forgetting Instagram exists.
Yeah.
I only remember the other day. I just been a queue, so I put 4 pictures up there. But I don't really understand Instagram. I don't understand why they crop photographs on a site that's about pictures. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense to me. If it's about pictures, then can't I put the picture on there in the manner in which I took it?
Yeah, but I like the way you've got quite. You don't have even a post. I've seen the pictures. You have some nice ones on Brighton. You don't really post much on there, but you'll get used to it once X goes sooner rather than later. I think that's going to be going soon. I know you.
I don't think it's going to be going anywhere because it gives people the opportunity to fight, and that's that's what people seem to value more than anything else these days.
Yeah, anyway, I just wanted to have a call. I've just been catching up with a lot of the stuff. I'm sorry to see you got a bit of a cough, but I think it's February. It's an awful month. Just little sips. Try not to let any of these And if you do get any annoying callers tonight, don't let them wind you up. Just let them do the talking, and I suppose just agree with them if you just want to get through with it. But,
all right. Thank you, Doctor. Appreciate it. Appreciate the time. Wait. I literally do not know what's happening to me right now. I've been perfectly fine all week long. I've been doing podcasts with Carol McGiffin.
Oh, right, yeah.
And you need to be in prime condition to battle with Carol. And I've been just fine. I did 2 of those. I've been talking my face off this week. And I come in here, when it matters, I can't do it. Maybe something, maybe the Apple disagreed with me. Oh, no, it didn't. Babs says, why do we say a fire alarm is going off when it's come on? George says, yeah, we don't want no woke straws. I mean, that man. What can you say? Jill says, Trump saw a sign saying free Palestine and thought it was a special offer. Let's have Battersea. Hello, Patrick.
How you going, Nick?
Oh, well, I don't know. The jury is out.
To the last half hour,
yeah.
Donald Trump, Elon Musk, USAID, the United States Agency for International Development.
Yeah.
They decided to minimize it.
Yes.
Thinking that America would be glad because they were cutting United States aid to other countries around the world. Over 100 countries, in fact. Mm-hmm. However, slight backfire. USAID is supplied by thousands of farmers across the Midwest.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, all of that American... Oh, God. Sorry about that. Yeah, all of that food in sacks that have got the American flag on them that get delivered to people with poor people with flies in their eyes, that's bought from American farmers.
That's right. To the tune of nearly $3 billion.
I thought it was way more than that. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
The whole thing that USAID do is something in the region of $70 billion, but $3 billion straight away from the farmers, which means a lot of those farmers are now got stuff that they're packaged up ready to go that's going nowhere.
Yeah, and the farmers voted for Donald Trump, and like I said before, people voted for Donald Trump thinking he was going to be cruel to other people. And
that's right.
A big surprise that the other people includes them.
That's exactly it. I heard a Mexican chap last year. He put a video up saying he would never vote for Kamala Harris. He'd rather vote for Satan. Now he's saying, please help us.
Yes. I see a lot of those. They're coming out every day. These people are absolutely
every
appalled
single day,
that they're that Donald Trump doesn't know them, that they personally have voted for him, as though that's going to change his mind about the sweeping changes he's making. Yeah, it's just
absolutely ridiculous.
If it wasn't so awful, it would be actually funny. Occasionally, it is funny. Yeah. Watching the fear and the tears in their eyes about what is about to happen to them, and then the interviewer says, "Who did you vote for?" And we know the answer to that.
There's one group that came from Venezuela a few years ago, and Joe Biden had them come in because they were running from the dictator in Venezuela, and they're worried now.
That's been cancelled, yeah.
Because Donald Trump's making a deal with the dictator in Venezuela to get them back.
Yeah. Well, the Trump Venezuela is probably... They put the... They've laid the concrete, and the building will start shortly. Patrick, I've got to go. Because, I'm not long for this this world. Every moment matters. Laurie says, have you ever thought what life would be like if there was a planet Trump? Would the sun still be orange, or would that colour be exclusively for him? I wonder if gravity would hold his hair in position. Any thoughts, says Laurie? Hair? I don't think it's hair.
I don't wear a toupee.
Although he has appeared to have changed his hairstyle in much the same way as he appears to have changed either the makeup brand that he uses, or he's got a new makeup artist, or he mixed it up wrong or something, but he's now a colour that I've never seen a human come in. Never seen a human that colour. I've seen a terracotta pot that colour. I've seen burnt toast that colour. But not an actual real-life human being. David says, why do you keep insisting on describing Fahrenheit as His Majesty's temperature scale? Celsius was a Swede. Proper British units are degrees Rankine. To convert centigrade to Rankine, simply multiply by 5 and divide... what? Multiply by 9, divide by 5 and add 491.67. I double dare you to do this, says David. I could do that. 0345 6060 973 LBC.
The world's gone crazy.
Yes, the whole world has in fact got crazy. Orla texts, all in capital letters, we don't want Hitler back, says Orla. Expressing a minority opinion there, Orla. And Hanif says, Trump banned paper straws. You wouldn't expect the push for polluting the ocean more would come from someone who who resembles a manatee.
Don't talk to me that way. I'm the President of the United States. Don't ever talk to the President that way.
Don't ever talk to the President that way. Brian, Crouch End.
Hello. Yes, hello.
Yes, Brian.
Yes, you okay, buddy?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, let's see if we can get through this with some aplomb. Latest I've seen is that the new issue of Time magazine has a picture of Trump on the cover with Elon Musk sitting behind him, and it's meant to say, well, gee, who's running the country?
Yeah, well, we know the answer to that. Donald Trump shows up in between cheating at golf, does his big boy squiggle on some pieces of paper that are put in front of him. It could be a wine list, it could be a menu, and he's got absolutely no idea what's on there.
Well, it could be a wine list because he says he doesn't drink. But,
okay, well, he may not drink, but he's on something.
Yeah, Adderall, whatever. But, yeah, Trump's reaction was, is Time magazine still in business? And then Elon's doing a great job, was his other comment. Yeah, he's doing a great job of possibly getting rid of the Social Security check that I do get every month. Could be in jeopardy in the next year or so.
Well, it would be repurposed as a tax cut for a billionaire because billionaires aren't made of money, Brian.
Yeah, well, I certainly want to do my bit to help them out, because life is so hard. Being a billionaire,
it must be. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so we've heard. I have to read this quote, this article that was in my favorite paper yesterday. The one that rhymes with fail. It was about Trump's proposal to take over Gaza, and the article, the headline was, "It's hard to overstate the bravery and sheer strategic genius of this revolutionary idea."
Who wrote that?
His name was Stephen. It's not Stephen Glover, though.
Miller.
Yes. No, not Stephen Miller either. Steve Miller sang The Joker. But,
he's a midnight toker. Oh, please, that was a mistake. Don't even think about trying to sing. He's a midnight toker.
Want to score some pot?
Yeah. I was going to start singing as well because I have a song parody about using that song, but we won't get into that at the moment. So anyway, it was a big article just saying what a great idea this is, and how come nobody else ever thought of it?
Because it's the stupidest idea that anybody ever thought of. I mean, really.
And nobody realizes the stupidity of it and the impossibility. When they asked Trump, so who's going to live there? He's like, world people.
Yeah, world people, yeah. That's right. What he means is the rich.
certainly not the Palestinians. Because
no, definitely not. No.
He's already been told by Egypt and Jordan, no, we're not going to just take these people. Why should we help you? So yeah, it's crazy. And then I also am worried about RFK Jr. getting confirmed. He passed the first hurdle, and I just don't want to hear that voice for the next 4 years.
No. Well, fortunately, Brian, you ended up 3,000 miles away from the crazy. So let's hope that it doesn't infect us too much.
Yeah, I'm hanging in here.
All right. Okay. Good luck. Thanks a lot, mate. 0345 6060 973. Maybe I should open the window. Maybe it's the air in here. I really don't know, but there's something dreadful. But there's going to be noise, so prepare yourself. And it will also get very, very cold.
Stop whining.
0345 6060 973. Let's have Tooting. Hello, Jan.
Is this Jan of Tooting you're speaking to?
Who?
Yeah, this is Jan, yes, Nick.
Where are you?
In Tooting.
What's your name?
Jan.
Who are you? Are you Jan from Tooting? I only want to speak to Jan from Tooting.
Nick, I've got something very important to tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's about your chest and your problem there at the moment. Because, look, the apples are great, but it's apple juice that you need. But there's things that you can do maybe now. I mean, for instance, they found out that a salty solution in salt diluted in hot water or warm water, you gargle with that, and or even spray it into the nostrils. It can help with things. But if there's a cabbage
into the nostrils?
Yeah, they're selling it for £30 in chemists because the latest research has shown how it can help with throat.
Wait a minute. They're selling in chemists. They're selling for £30 a combination of water and salt.
Yeah, saline solution to spray in the nostrils and in the throat for £30, a small quantity. That because it's based on the latest research that they've discovered that how good salt is. But
never heard of anything so ridiculous in all my life. Salt and water cost £30.
No, but I was suggesting to your producer there if you had any salt in the salt, but it should really be salt crystals, pure salt.
Yeah.
That you put maybe. I sometimes use it myself.
Will sugar do?
No.
It looks like salt.
No, sugar's the worst thing to use. A pure honey, maybe with. Look, you can even. Have you got any cloves? You should carry a clove of garlic with you, Nick.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'd do. Hang on a minute. Let me just check my trouser pockets. Cloves of garlic. No, I seem to have come out without them. Oh, can you believe that?
No, but I'm being serious. I'm going to send. There's some amazing healing drinks. Like,
don't you dare send me anything.
No, can you juice? Have you got a juicer, like something that can juice vegetables or fruit?
It's a radio station.
No, but but I'm trying to say, you're not going to have that there in the thing, but you can have things with you. Make it at home and bring it in with you. But if it's dust that's irritating you, then that's another thing. Because if you look, if the sun shines into a room and you see the dust, the room is thick with dust.
Right? Yeah, I know. It's disgusting.
It's not space.
So I need. To carry my own sunshine, I need a juicer. I need cloves of garlic. What was the other thing? Oh, salt water.
You could have pure honey with you. Your salt water. You just boil. But I was asking your producer actually if he could do you some a saline solution to gargle with. A dessert, even a teaspoon of salt in hot water.
Helps the medicine go down. No, we ain't got no salt here, Jan. This is not a restaurant. I'm calling you from a radio station.
No, okay, well, I know, but when you're not, but I'm just trying to see what you could do while you're there now.
So you're talking to me like I'm the astronauts in Apollo 13, and what I have to do is try to make a functioning repair of myself with whatever I've got around me. And then prepare for re-entry into Earth's orbit.
But you can do something at home and bring it into work with you, like.
Oh, too blooming late. I'd need a time machine for that, wouldn't I?
No, but there must be some salt there in the studio and some hot water. Yeah, but I mean, Nick, what have you got there? You know, things like. But if you have a juice,
I'll tell you what we got. We got coffee, tea, sugar. That's it.
Yeah, well, that's what you need to have. Certain drinks like ginger tea.
Did you say gin?
No, gin. You might want some gin, but ginger.
I think she's hit the nail right on the head there. I need a couple of pints of gin immediately.
Don't. You need ginger. Have you? You know, carry ginger with you and garlic and peel it in the studio.
No one's going to come anywhere near me. I carry ginger and garlic and lemon salt, and I've got my own juicer, and I carry my own little bottle of sunshine with me.
They have great healing properties. Even cabbages.
I've got to carry cabbages now?
No, I'm just saying, if you've got do you have a juicer at home that you can juice vegetables? Oh, so you can't. Anyway, yeah, because you can't really.
I need to go and buy a juicer. Yeah.
Cabbage juice. You have to do it yourself because
You did not just say cabbage juice.
No, you add it. You can add it to other things.
I most certainly will do nothing of the sort.
With it.
No, gargle with cabbage juice. Oh.
Yes,
God.
Pure cabbage juice and
Jan,
it's
I would rather die.
Well, ginger then. What about ginger? Have you heard of the Asian traditions and the Chinese where they use ginger for healing? It's a medicine in those parts of the world. Ayurvedic.
Right. But does it actually work?
Of course it does.
Well, where's the of course coming from?
No, I mean, it's proved it's good for all kinds of chest infections and coughs and things.
Right.
And I use it myself. But also, if you garlic is another one.
Yeah.
But you know, it's good to have it with honey.
Gargle with garlic?
No,
that doesn't sound like a very good idea.
No, I've had a bad chest, and I sometimes chew on the raw clove of garlic. But it's best really to have it with honey. Chop it up and put it in honey.
That sounds absolutely disgusting.
Well, no, but you like honeycomb.
Well, yeah, but honey and garlic. Actually, honey and garlic on, let's say, prawns. That would be nice. Can I gargle with prawns?
Let me say something to you then. That it's scientifically proven, Nick. It's scientifically proven that if you chop certain foods like garlic and broccoli, it increases its healing properties. So when you chop garlic and leave it for 10 minutes, it generates allicin.
It generates allicin?
A-L-L-I-C-I-N, which is a great healing, has great healing properties.
Okay, leave it with me and I'll definitely not try that later. Thanks, Jan.
Yeah! Dude!
Petunia called, wants me to hit you hard over the back, says my glamorous assistant. She knows you're coughing because she is, quotes, listening to the radio. You're relaying your conversations with people calling up now, the man through the glass. Monica says, a warm pat between the shoulder blades with the palm 2 or 3 times and it will be all clear, says Monica. And John said, suggest honey and lemon, for God's sake. We can't lose him, he says. Andy says, there's a man dying on the radio in real time and all anyone can do is laugh. Laughing at me. And Phil says, close all the airports. Yeah, I am patient zero.
Warning, warning.
It starts with me. Bristol, hello, John.
Nick.
John.
Nick Abbot. Love your work.
Thanks.
Beautiful.
Carry on.
I just want to pick up from where Jan left off just before the news. Yeah, no, what you want, right? Forget the garlic, right? Because that's just gonna flare up the old dear acid reflux, right? No, right, get yourself a pint glass, get your minions, right? Get a pint glass, fill half of it with cranberry juice, half of it with water, a couple of ice cubes, a little bit of ginger,
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of lemon juice, and a little bit of honey,
right?
And then mix it all up. Stir it all up.
Yeah.
And you're good to go, man. You're good to go.
Can I explain to you and the other nice people who've got a recipe for me? I'm not in a restaurant.
No, but you mean it's honestly, who are those people working at the blimmin' at LBC? Like, I mean, it can't be that difficult.
Well, we don't have a fully we don't have a fully stocked larder here. No, that is true.
Well, I should complain if I were you.
I mean, in an emergency, I think the food that we've got here is little packets of sugar.
Really?
Which you can put in coffee. That's it.
That's no good, man. You want lemon, ginger, honey, cranberry juice.
Right.
Yeah, water.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. Can I see the wine list?
And sip on it gently, Nick.
Right, sipping gently. Okay, will do.
And then, yeah.
Excellent advice.
That'll get you through the next 2 hours.
Yeah, okay. If only I had any of those things. Thanks a lot, John. I have no idea what's wrong with me. This is the first time this week there has been a hint of a problem. But you know me, I never complain.
Whinging and whining and moaning.
Lisa says, I have a friend who has the same problem. If you just have a sip of brandy, it will sort it all out indeed, says Lisa. Again, with the recipes. I haven't got any blooming brandy. Aki called. Being set off like that, you could be allergic to somebody's perfume or aftershave. Well, I'm in a room on my own, so I would be, and I'm not wearing any perfume or aftershave. Maybe I'm allergic to myself.
Oh
no! Is that a thing? East Yorkshire. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Nick. Sorry to hear about your cough.
Yeah.
I won't give you any suggestions.
My imminent death. Yeah. What would you like me to pull out of the cupboard?
Yeah. I'm not going to do that. It's obvious you under short supply of equipment and materials. No, what I wanted to say was you were talking about Americans being interviewed about Trump.
Oh, yeah.
And the best one I saw was this guy who said, yeah, I voted for Trump. I didn't think he was going to deport my wife.
Yeah, I've seen those as well. I mean, it's tragic and it's appalling, but, those people were told over and over again and decided not to believe it and to believe instead, to put their faith in a man who lies with every breath.
Yeah, talking about him lying. When he was doing his speech with Netanyahu, after the bit, I'm not being cute.
Yeah.
He said, we're going to make a fantastic job with Gaza, we're going to do this. And he said, and Gaza's going to be so magnificent. He started to say valuable.
Yeah.
And no one's picked up on this and pointed it out because that told everybody exactly what it was all about.
Of course it is. Yeah, I mean, all he sees is beachfront property.
Yeah, it's bad. And the other one that came out after that, the commander of the Israeli Defense Force said, we're issuing commands now to ensure the rapid, permanent removal of Palestinians during construction. Permanent? I mean, I think that was a bit of a split from him, wasn't it? He was supposed to say temporary. During
construction, yeah.
Which is completely contrary to the Geneva Convention, because the instant hostility stop, you have to return anyone. You're entitled to remove them, but they have to be returned immediately. But that isn't what he's done.
Well, I think the Geneva Convention is a distant speck in the rearview mirror at this point.
We are going back into primitive Darwinist behaviour. Civilization is going backwards rapidly.
Well, I think that we were kidding ourselves if we thought that we'd made much progress since being in a cave. You know, it's usually one step forward, one step back. Not much movement, not really. And here we are with a mirror being held up to us, and this is the worst of humankind.
Yeah, and it was predicted. I mean, who's he threatened so far? Colombia, Mexico, Canada, Panama, Greenland. He threatened Iran saying you will not have a nuclear weapon, and if you think that you are.
I mean, that's comical, that is, because, of course, Trump tore up the nuclear deal with Iran and now says that what he wants is a nuclear deal with Iran. He wants the thing that he just tore up. Same with the trade deals. Why would any country in their right mind enter into a negotiation with Donald Trump? Because he's just shown you how much he cares about his signature and the value of his word. It's meaningless. He'll just tear it up on a whim in order to look tough to his fans. And that's what he's done with the trade deal that he had with Mexico and with Canada. Trade deals that were years in the making and were all signed in good faith. And the Orange Oompa Loompa just comes along and tears it up and says, that everyone's being very mean to us. Don't make me do the voice. I don't think I can.
No, don't. But did you see as well that Musk actually criticised one of Trump's policies? And then Trump was asked about it immediately. Instead of, we do have some agreements, and we have disagreements, and I'm thinking this isn't going to be long when when he's repeatedly asked.
Yeah, well, ordinarily I would agree with you, but what Donald Trump loves more than anything else is money, and Elon Musk has got a lot of it.
Yeah, what Trump doesn't tolerate is any form of criticism, so he must keep doing this. It's 6 months, and that'll be a lot of it, I think.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine that that any of this is going to last without major incident, without some sort of war, either external or internal in America. Hang on. You talk about hitting the ground running. It's just beyond belief what is happening at the moment. I mean, it's not like the first time around when it was just kind of comical. This is really deeply worrying and serious stuff. And fortunately, there's an asteroid heading our way. This is going to wipe him and everybody else on Earth out. So we've got that.
There was an interesting interview with Steve Bannon, and because him and Musk hate each other.
Yeah.
Because Musk is not proper MAGA. And it was a funny interview, and when you listen to it in detail, he was quite threatening towards Musk.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, he said he's going to get him out of the White House in the first 100 days. He's going to unseat him.
And he said Musk has done a few good things, and things are heading in the direction we want. But as regards Musk, just wait and see. And I thought, God, that is threatening.
Yeah.
I mean, that is sinister, and Bannon is much more of a serious operator. Musk's a bit of a comedian, but and he's playing at it. He thinks it's great fun, and he's fascinated by the power. But Bannon has got some serious stuff lurking in the background.
He's got the face he deserves, Steve Bannon. Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, Mike. Ta-da. 0345 6060 973. Patrick says, I just wanted you to know that I am currently tucking into a beautiful Chardonnay and a rhubarb yoghurt sorbet that I made to celebrate the end of dry January, and listening to you is back to normal now. A Chardonnay and a rhubarb yoghurt sorbet. That sounds like a terrible combination. Ew. A rhubarb yoghurt sorbet. You lost me at yoghurt sorbet. What even is that? Sam says, have you tried injecting bleach to help with your issues? That's a good idea. I'm going to go and get some in this break.
Call 0345 6060 973.
Everything is going extremely well.
You bet your life it is. Andrew says, you've stopped coughing. She's the devil. Who's she? Hugh says, that's what you get for drinking apple. Or did you eat it? I ate it. And on that subject, Martin says, I hope your cough clears up soon. I used to swear by cough... Okay. All right. Okay. It's a joke. Prepare yourselves. Martin emails, I hope your cough clears up soon. I used to swear by coffee enemas. Okay, from the top. I'll see if I can get through it third time lucky. You're not going to like it. Are you ready? Martin emails, I hope your cough clears up soon. I used to swear by coffee enemas until I got banned from Starbucks. Tavistock. Hello, Rose.
Oh, hello, Nick. I was going to suggest a massage, but that's not feasible either. Yes.
Half of the people think I'm recording this in a restaurant. The other half think I'm in a chemist, and now I'm in a wellness retreat.
Yes. Well, relax the whole system, because I think your throat tightens up, doesn't it?
Well, mine has, yeah. I can barely breathe.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Oh, before I launch, I wondered if...
Launch? Do you want me to give you a countdown?
Well, I wondered, could I say hello to somebody? I'll tell you what... Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Hello?
Go ahead.
I'll tell you what it is. A friend, acquaintance of mine, really, he said his son has been listening to this... Well, I think it's this show, LBC anyway.
Yeah.
And said to him, do you know somebody called Rose with a motorcycle who rings up LBC?
Right.
So my friend said, oh, yes, I know who that is. So I wanted to say hello. I was going to start this by saying, Nick, I'm famous.
Let's not get carried away.
No, quite.
I'm not famous. You aren't.
Anthony in Perth, anyway. Hello to Anthony in Perth.
Hello, Anthony in Perth.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
What I was ringing about was, you know how you say you're on your deathbed, you're not going to say you wish you'd made more money, that sort of thing. One isn't,
Yes. I wish I'd upgraded my phone more often.
Yes.
That sort of thing.
That sort of thing. Well, it's quite interesting because my lovely friend, American friend in Iowa, who has just been in despair, as you can imagine, about everything, just before Trump launched himself into action, the Surgeon General apparently retired and left a letter, which I thought I've just 2 or 3 quotes from it, because one can't help feeling that the ship he's talking about has sailed some time ago. But bless him, it ended with these words, and I've got a couple more things to say from it, if I may. He ended with, "This is my parting prescription for the country I love, to remake and centre our lives round fulfilment grounded in relationships, service and purpose." And earlier in the letter, he says, "The status quo is harming our physical and mental well-being, robbing us of optimism and contributing to division. We need to rethink what defines success and a good life."
Yes.
And he says, "In moments when I wonder whether I'm achieving enough, I think about the patients I cared for at the end of their lives and what they shared with me about what made for a fulfilling life. It was never the size of their bank accounts, numbers of followers, or list of accomplishments. It was always about people they loved, people they served, people whose lives they touched. In the end, this is what matters."
Yeah.
I mean, it's another world, isn't it, from what's actually happening in America?
I think that the human race has taken a wrong turn. I think that this pursuit of wealth that most of us will never catch. We're like greyhounds running after that mechanical hare around the track. We're never going to catch it. It's pointless, really, running the race at all, other than for the amusement and benefit of others.
Yeah.
And that's what we're like.
Yes. That is it, isn't it?
And this government seems to be obsessed with keeping that going, this constant refrain of growth. Oh, we must go for growth. We've got to have more growth. Well, we've had growth. There has been growth. It's just that none of us have actually shared in the spoils of that growth. You know, people's income has flatlined while all this growth has been created, and at the same time that we have more billionaires than we've ever had before, and the wealth of billionaires has increased to such an extent that it I think half a dozen people now have more wealth than the bottom 50% of American citizens, like 6 people.
Yeah, that's right.
That does seem to be that a fork in the road that we took the wrong choice. Because, can't we just be more Scandinavian? Because they always top the World Happiness Index, and I know that it seems a silly thing to talk about, happiness. I mean, what is that when you compare it with economic growth? But that's exactly what you just read out from that guy's letter. Yes, precisely.
Yes, it is the point, and I don't know about taking the wrong. I think it was absolutely deliberate, the whole thing, because all this money is where it is. Our country, for example, is just strewn along the ground in wreckage, basically. Yeah. And the people who are suffering are being blamed for everything. Mm-hmm. You know, I thought about this when people often say, is it carrot or stick for disabled people on benefits, and should they work, carrot or stick? And I'm thinking, surely we should be taking care of our citizenry, not poking them with sticks.
Yeah, but there is no carrot. There is only stick. I mean, if you don't if you don't behave, we will beat you. And if you do behave, you get nothing.
Yes, it's all for somebody else, isn't it? Everything ordinary people do is, as you said a few minutes ago, is for someone else, basically.
And anybody who thinks like this, Rose, is a lefty woke liberal. And that is just about the worst thing that you can possibly be, because the sort of the strength of the pull to rush for wealth is so strong that those who have absolutely no chance of ever getting any are determined to keep the system as it is, and you can hear it from them. They will call up. If I get calls on this subject, people will say the first thing that will occur to them is, "Oh, that's the politics of envy." That is, and they'll be saying that from their unheated, mould-infested, grotty hovel that they can only just afford to pay for from working 2 jobs 7 days a week. I mean, hello, time to wake up.
Why do they think like that?
It's called propaganda. It's called advertising. Advertising works. If you keep telling the same people the same thing over and over again, they'll believe it.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, I'm just thinking about something and it's gone completely out of my head.
Well, I know exactly how you feel. I coughed all my thoughts out in the first half hour.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it?
That's very weird, yeah. I appear to be able to speak a whole sentence without feeling I'm going to die. So that's an improvement.
It's a considerable improvement, yes.
That's, maybe you are the cure, Rose.
Oh, well, I mean, I would come and do the massage, only I'm about 300 miles away.
300 miles away, yeah. And by the time you get here, I'll either be cured or dead.
Oh, yes.
All right.
No, you sound fine now. It came on. It wasn't there when you began the programme.
No, I don't know what happened there. Very strange. No. All right. Thanks a lot, Rose. Cheers, my dear. Ta-da. 0345 6060 973. Alison says, poor air quality in Leicester Square. That's all you need to set off the coughing. I had similar in a polluted valley in Switzerland last winter. Switzerland has polluted valleys? Is that true? Nighttime, cold, high air pressure, Alison says. Don't get me started on Trump. I'm in Aberdeenshire near one of his golf courses. Yeah. And Hugh says, that asteroid is due in 2032. They're getting ready to point a nuclear arsenal at it. Well, I mean, the news on the asteroid is somewhat alarming, and it gets more alarming with each passing week. I don't know if I have the ability to read it to you, though. But there's something really bad coming our way.
Warning, warning.
That's all you need to know. Now, carry on with your work. Chippenham. John.
Hello, yes, it's me.
Yes, John.
Do you know, I remember when you had this problem before.
Yeah.
About 3 or 4 years ago.
Yes.
And I can tell you what started it.
What?
Because you told us.
Go on.
you had some builders and you went and sniffed up some plaster dust.
Yes. I'm not sure it was plaster dust. I think it was something much more poisonous than that.
Do you? Anyway, and you soldiered on for a couple of days, and then somebody had to step in for the last hour or two.
I know.
Remember that?
I do.
Well, I've got a secret. Well, it's not a secret. It's an old-fashioned remedy. It's, you know, when you jump in the sea and you get a nose full of salt water from the sea, and it goes all up into your sinuses, and you sort of feel horrible for a minute.
Yes.
Then you come out, and then for the next half hour, every time you bend over, it all comes out. And then suddenly you're cured.
Of what?
Everything. I mean, it's just like a complete spa treatment, but you have to go to the sea to do it. So you have to jump in the Thames because it's tidal.
God, wait. Well, if jumping in the Thames cures you of what you've got, it'll kill you with other things.
Well, at least you'll know what the problem was if it does. But anyway,
that's true.
You'll feel better. You'll be able to not cough as you say goodbye. But no, that's what I replicate it by getting a water bottle and putting some water and some salt in there and squirting it, and away it goes. It's brilliant.
I don't think that's a very good idea. You're squirting
I'm not
water.
A doctor.
Well, neither am I. You're squirting water up your nose.
Yeah, it's an old treatment. It's called a nasal douche. It's ancient.
I can't believe you just said that on this show. A nasal douche.
You force it up one nostril and it comes out the other, and you cock your head on the side over a sink and it washes all your sinuses out.
I've never been so appalled in all my life.
I know, it's true though, it works.
I don't think I'd be able to get away with that here.
Well, do it to Donald Trump and might knock some sense into him, and he needs something.
Right, well, I'm not sure I'd be able to get that close. Not within nasal distance, no. But you've certainly given me something to think about, John. Jump into the sea. What, round these parts? Let me think about that for a second.
No.
Absolutely. Carl says, Mr. Trump has surrendered himself with businessmen who are all successful and talented. He's the least successful among them. Will they fire him? He is a serial failure. It must be a little bit galling for some of those people. I mean, I guess they're giddy with delight that they're about to make a ton of money. All they have to do is flatter Donald Trump and tell him his hair looks nice, or, you know, whatever his concern of the day is. You're very, very smart, Mr. President. Thank you. But it must be a bit galling for these people who have actually achieved something to have to take orders from a chump who's he's been a serial failure in every business he has ever been in. I mean, I can't think of a single business he's ever been in that he's been successful with.
I've been successful in every business I've been in.
Every business he's been in, he's been unsuccessful. He couldn't even make money running a casino. I mean, really. The only successful thing he's ever done is to persuade America that he's a success, or, you know, at least just enough people to get elected. Those people. They give and they give and they give.
I love the poorly educated.
0345 6060 973.
On LBC, call 0345 6060 973.
Hot air. H-O-T-A-I-R.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's superheated air. Maybe it's just very, very dry in here. Somebody should look into that very strongly. Rose called. Says, as you ate an apple, you could be allergic to the pollen intrinsic in the fruit. I am 98% sure, says Rose. Take an antihistamine. If I'm not... According to the people who are listening to this show, I'm either doing the programme from a restaurant or a wellness retreat or a chemist's. None of the above is true. Sandbatch. Hello, John.
I don't want to say this, but I do want to say this. Are you in an air-conditioned environment?
Yes.
Get the air conditioning cleaned out and get your the place where you do your program from fumigated. You might find that'll be the problem.
Fumigated?
Well, you know what I mean. You know,
Cleaned.
Cleaned, yeah.
But the air conditioning can be a problem.
Yes, I bet. I hate air conditioning. I just really, really dislike it. Everything about it's just awful. Air conditioning.
It spreads diseases.
Oh,
my God.
great.
I'm going to sound like a nut knife. It spreads infections, and air conditioning is a good thing and not a good thing.
Yeah. Well, it seems hard to believe that it wouldn't spread diseases. I mean, it's bound to, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's why you may be getting into that studio and thinking, I'm okay, I'm clean, and
Yeah.
Clear, my house okay.
Well, maybe
Then you start.
Maybe I should keep the window open. I mean, I closed it because there is a bit of a racket out there, but, maybe it's a choice between either finishing the show with a noise in the background or not finishing the show.
That's it. Yeah, your health first, everything else is second.
Right.
The other thing about Trump, I think he's led by the nose. You got the window open.
I've got the window open, yeah.
I think he's led by the nose. I think his wife, part Jewish, and I'm not being racist or anything like this.
His wife is part Jewish. What's that got to do with anything?
His attitude to Israel and the Gaza.
He just sees it as a giant opportunity to make a ton of money, and he'll put hotels up there, and and they'll be in walled compounds, and only the super rich will be allowed to stay there. Trump Gaza and the Trump Towers on the Strip with the casino, and that's what he's thinking of. But, I don't really want to get into all of that. But thanks, John. Frank via Alexa says, thank God Trump is back in power. The best president we've ever had, says Frank, who is a troll. Probably a robot.
Affirmative.
Because there's a lot of that about. God, that's that website that Elon Musk has run into the ground. Just pick any story at all. Any story with somebody showing appreciation for science or other people, and look at the comments underneath, and it's just an outpouring of bile, one after the next, all suspiciously alike. And then you hover your mouse over their name, and it will be an anonymous account with 4 followers and an official blue tick. They're all robots. That site's absolutely chock full of bots. All giving you the same message. And there's, just enough people to believe it. And I think the number of those people seems to be increasing by the day, alarmingly. Tom says, just wondering if your glamorous assistant could be a KGB operative and has popped a bit of polonium in your tea. If so, it's been nice knowing you, says Tom. Thanks for thinking of me, Tom. Dagenham, Verol.
Oh, hello, Nick.
Verol.
I think you've got some problems.
Yeah, no joke.
You know what's causing the problem?
Tell me.
It's the guests you've had on your show that's coming to that studio.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You got Nigel Farage.
No, he hasn't been in here.
He has?
No, not in this studio. I'm in my own special studio.
Oh, you're not in the same studio that James O'Brien has been in?
No. That's the Starship Enterprise. That is a fabulous facility.
I remember when he ran out of there.
And, I'm not in there. I'm in...
what about the other one then, the Mayor of London?
Yeah, no, I'm not in... All of the shows come from one studio, but except mine, I'm in I'm in my own special studio.
They've locked you off, bro. Don't they like you? I like you. Stop them.
Well, no, that's not it at all. It's for technical...
Well, I'm gonna get Donald Trump to come and visit you.
Right, okay, well, don't threaten me.
And he'll be bringing Domestos when he comes.
Domestos, yeah. Maybe he could introduce light into my body.
When he's finished with you, man, I'm telling you, you're going to be as right as rain.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll definitely look forward to that. Thanks a lot.
It cured his COVID, you know.
Well, I do recall seeing that video, and that nice lady was sitting by the side, and she had her head in her hands just momentarily until she remembered that there was a camera on her, and then tried not to make any sudden moves or expressions of displeasure or distaste.
I think he used it on his hair as well.
He uses something on his hair. I don't know what it is, but there might be too much of it.
You don't need to put all of that product in your hair. You just don't.
But he does anyway. Yeah, he does anyway.
Oh, well. I heard him today. His nephew today was talking. I was talking to you, the guy I was answered the phone, and I was talking. He was talking today about his nephew. He's got a disabled son.
Donald Trump.
Yeah. Donald Trump has got a nephew that's got a disabled son.
Okay.
And he went and saw his nephew and told his nephew that your son don't even know you because he's disabled. Why don't you just let him die and you can come and live with me in Washington? This is what... And it's true. It's in his book. It's a book.
Oh, which book?
The person who answered the phone, as soon as I told them, they looked up and found it straight away.
All right.
It's one of Donald Trump's nephew. He told him that his disabled son, and he said the derogatory thing about disabled people before.
Well, he famously mocked the reporter with disability, didn't he? Which should have struck him out of the running just on that. Yeah. But we live in different times now.
His nephew said to him, "You haven't even seen the little boy he can't move. He does everything. He's got to be in a wheelchair, and he's flipping." Trump told him to. Why don't you just let him die?
Well, you see, if he did do that, then it wouldn't be a first, because, like I said, he mocked that reporter by shaking his hands about and saying, "Oh, I didn't know what I said," like that famous thing. He's also implied that the plane crash in Washington had something to do with disabled people being in charge of air traffic control and.
The man is a total fruitcake.
Yeah.
And people voted for him.
And people voted for him. Yeah, remarkable. All right, let's end on that note of wonderment. What a way to run a planet, eh? Thanks a lot, Beryl. 0345 6060 973. Tom text, just wondering if your glamorous assistant... Oh, no, I've read that. The polonium. David says, regarding your cough, I recommend a pint of Moroccan tap water. He says, regarding your cough, I recommend a pint of Moroccan tap water. It won't cure your cough, but it will certainly take your mind off it. Yeah, can't say I've ever had any. Not had the pleasure. Ben says, for your throat, buy Vocal Zone tablets to suck. They will open up your throat and help you breathe. A lot of singers have this before a show. It really works, says Ben. Well, the first show I ever did on LBC, I had to bow out after, 10 seconds. Because I had a cough just before I came on. And I thought, I can't be ill on the first show on LBC. Having not had a job for years, I think. And I called them up, and they said, yeah, come along. So I did, and I was panicking a bit because it was worse than this, which I seem to have got over a bit. I'm not going to push it. But I stopped on a double red line in Earl's Court on the way to the studio where we used to be, and I got some throat spray. I said, what have you got for a sore throat? maybe he misunderstood. And thought I was asking for a product that would give me a sore throat. But he gave me like a throat spray, and I thought, okay, great. But you can only take so many sprays, in a certain period of time. So I'll just wait just before I go on the air, and then I'll spray my throat, and then everything will be fine. Well, it wasn't. I sprayed my throat, and it sort of closed the whole of my throat up, and all that came out was this. And I had absolutely no voice whatsoever on the first show. And I had to bail. I think within 10 minutes. Couldn't believe it was happening to me. But, I'm not one to complain.
Whinging and whining and moaning.
We do it?
I'm dying over here, Carol. 0345 6060 973. Jane emails, you don't sound well, Nick. If you need a replacement, can we have that American guy, Brian? He's got such a sexy voice, says Jane, who's measuring me up for my coffin as I speak. And Brian, by the way, is redoubling security, Jane. Not going to get anywhere near him. Marie says, I'm 99 years old. I'm 99 years old, says Marie, and I've been listening to your show, and it's the best laugh I've had all week. What, the bit where I was dying? And this says, yes, it's the distribution of wealth that is the key to happiness. Growth is only as good as the happiness it generates. The only two things that matter in life are love and happiness. Correct, Amundo. Woolwich. Hello, Richard.
Oh, hello, Nick. Hi.
Richard.
Measuring up your coffin, was that a listener with material?
No, that was me off the top of my head.
Brilliant. I can confirm, by the way, the nephew of Trump's nephew. He was actually interviewed today by Lewis Goodall at 12:30.
Oh yeah.
And he told that story, and I was really shocked by it.
Were you?
Yeah, nothing shocks me, right?
No.
Yeah. But about Trump, I've just got very briefly a theory on this. Do you think that he's doing insider trading? Because that's I know I'm trying to sort of rationalize some really irrational things he's doing, but I'm just wondering if by now making these announcements and crashing the stock market, and then he knows when he's going to make an announcement to rectify it. And it seems to me that he's doing a lot of that. I'm just wondering whether he's making huge money from it.
The first thing that I thought was exactly that when he threatened China and Mexico with tariffs, and the obvious and predictable result of that was that the stock markets in all three countries would go down, and if you can bet money on it going down, then you can make money in a crash, and then you can bet money on it going up, and you can make money on the way up as well. And he is ideally placed to do just that. I think his revenue streams will probably, by the time he's finished, in, who knows, 8 years, 12 years, however long it is that he remains in position, he will probably vie with Vladimir Putin for the richest person in the world. Gong.
Yep. I think that, you know what, I just think that's what he's doing. Everything, if you think about Trump, is just motivated by money, and that's what his nephew said today. He said Trump isn't a mystery. He said my uncle is not a mystery. He's just completely motivated by money, and once you get that, you get him immediately. And I'm just thinking all of this sort of news bombs that he's dropping. I'm sure he's making something from it.
Well,
that was my theory.
It would be weird if he wasn't, knowing what we know about him. I mean, is he legal, decent, honest, and true? No, and no.
No. Don't be rude.
All right. Thanks a lot, Richard. Yeah, it seems obvious to me. I mean, he started that Trump, cryptocurrency, didn't he? I mean, talk about conflict of interest. That's probably the biggest conflict of interest in the history of politics. He's got a crypto coin now, so that anybody can, with justification, give him any amount they like and claim that, rather than giving Donald Trump money, expecting a favour in return, then what they're actually doing is investing in an asset. So any government, any individual on Earth can now give Donald Trump an unlimited amount of money and claim that they were investing in an asset, not bunging him a bribe. I mean, the amount of cash that man is going to be making is just going to be absolutely off the scale. And all you have to be is totally crooked from the tip of your rug to the bottom of the lifts in your shoes. Either that, or we just don't understand him at all, and he's really a decent, honest and nice person. One of the two. Lindsay says, what do you think of Liz Kendall's comment that we all know there are people claiming benefits who are taking the mickey? Really? Says Lindsay. I think that Liz Kendall probably does not know, personally, people claiming benefits who are taking the mickey. She just assumed that such people do exist, so that if necessary, a newspaper or a government operative can come up with an example, and from that example make the assumption that not everybody perhaps, but a lot of, if not most people, are taking the mickey. But no, I very much doubt that she does, and it's certainly untrue that we all know that there are people claiming benefits who are taking the mickey. We just think that there may be. Elaine says, Donald Trump keeps saying that he wants to be just like President McKinley, but does he realise that McKinley was assassinated 6 months into his second term? It's a history lesson, this show. Every now and again, yes?
No.
No. Not really, no. I do notice that I've stopped coughing now that I've opened the window. Coincidence? Bodmin, Malcolm.
Oh, hello, Nick.
Malcolm.
Nick, I got some fun. Well, I think it's really interesting news, but it's a local connection for me. Nick, I think your throat cough voice thing is environmental, yeah? And I was wondering, have you thought of working from the shed with Dave and all the other tools? But look, on a serious note, your bathroom, because you'd have fantastic acoustics in your bathroom, it would be like playing an auditorium with the reverb, yeah? The echo?
Yeah.
That would be, and then you could get away with saying half the words probably because of the echo.
Oh, it would just fill in for me.
Yeah. No, so, but yeah, on a serious note, Nick.
Yes.
The fella who spoke about your aircon, you want to look if Trump or somebody hasn't reversed it, and you're getting all the horrible air from Leicester Square getting sucked into your room.
Oh, wouldn't that be awful?
That's got to be terrible.
I mean,
but,
that must contain germs that science hasn't even discovered yet.
It's happened to you too many times, Nick, for it not to seriously think about having the environment checked out by a proper environmental health department scientist. Seriously.
A trained professional, yeah.
An environmental scientist to check that environment, yeah. Nick, universities and foreign students. I just had a news flash, or actually I looked on Apple News, and it is that Cardiff University, who are about to sack 400 university staff, have issued instructions to all departments.
400? 400?
Yes, to cut costs. But it's moved on now, look. And I think this is fantastic. And no disrespect to foreign students. If there are spaces left over after our students are catered for, then fill them with foreign students. Or if our government wants to bring in more foreign students, then let the government subsidise those foreign places with the universities. But ensure that our students can get places. But the story is, Nick, that Cardiff Uni are now informing staff, so this will be the admissions officers, to take only or mainly British students, but to raise the entry standards. They've got to be much higher ability British students.
Right, but who's going to pay for all this, though? Because foreign students are subsidising British students.
Well, the quality of the offer will drop, won't it? They've sacked 400 people, so there's...
And this is one university have sacked 400 people. Who are these people? 400 that they can get rid of and still function as a university? 400, are you sure?
This is Wales' premier university, so they're different to England, and they are simply, I think, the first one to break cover. There's going to be a lot more of this. Well,
how many people do they hire that they can get rid of 400 and not notice? I just find that an incredible number. 400.
Thousands upon thousands, Nick. Honestly.
Well, what do they do?
Well, they're dropping courses. So the people that they're sacking, the courses that they taught on and
they're lecturers. You're saying they're sacking lecturers.
No, it could be lab staff, it could be admin staff, and it will be lecturers.
Right.
So it's everybody associated with a group of courses. And it is, in fact, languages, and they named them anyway, week before last week it was. So, but as I say, now they're saying to cut the foreign students and to focus on British students, because the foreign students, I think, they can't, for sure, I think foreign students will be bringing them bad press. And Farage and the like of it may well soon start to target universities for bringing in foreign students.
Yeah, because well, you know, we don't want to attract smart people. That would be awful.
No, but they're going to only use smart British people next.
Yeah, no, I get it, yeah. But the problem is that if that's the case, then British students are going to have to pay more money for their education, because it's the foreign students who are paying so much as to subsidise us a lot. But, you know, apart from that, great plan. Thanks, Malcolm.
On your radio, on Global...
Lucy says, if Trump succeeds in his plan to dismantle the Department for Education, he'll have even more recruits for his MAGA cult.
Don't be rude.
And Ruby says it's called a neti pot, a little watering can for the sinuses. Yeah, that sounds like a really bad idea. Deliberately putting water up your nose where it doesn't belong. No, it's a no from me. Barnett. Hello, Sam.
Hello, Nick. How you doing?
Good, thanks.
Listen, Nick, I have a great recipe for you. I know you're feeling under the weather, but I do have a miracle solution for you.
Oh, a miracle! That's what I need.
Yeah, you got to man up, Nick. That's all you have to do.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, like our friend Trump says, you know, we need strong people here, strong men. That's what we do. Mm-hmm. And it's not looking like it at the moment.
No.
I wanted to talk about your. I wanted to talk about your colleague, but I've been asked not to talk about it.
Okay. Well, then don't. You were asked, and then you're going to go ahead and do it anyway?
No. I'm not.
No.
But she had a rough time today. It was about the Trump subject, so I wanted to talk about it. It seems to me, correct me if I'm wrong, but when I was hearing her and her people calling her, but a lot of people were...
Who her?
I'm not supposed to say her name, but yeah, he started with Rachel, and he ended up with...
Right, so you were told not to talk about her, but you're going to go ahead and do it anyway. You just can't help yourself, can you, Sam? And if you're disappointed by that, Sam, then I can only recommend that you man up. Sexist. Person up, surely. Oh, there was a story about that. Hey, I seem to have got my voice back. Maybe it was the air in here, because I've opened the window and I seem to be recovering. I'm in recovery. Did you see this about the farmers? This was in the Mail. It is viewed by many as a traditional industry with deeply held views that are slow to change. But now, Scottish farmers have been told to become more woke in a bid to make the sector more welcoming.
Oh, no.
Woke story incoming. The National Farmers Union of Scotland has accepted a new guidance on diversity and inclusion in a bid to avoid upsetting any of the membership. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that they'll have to install unisex cattle sheds and paint their sheep in rainbow colours and provide a wellness retreat for chickens. But that's not it. No. This new front in the war on woke is to ask farmers to tone down the sexism and the racism when they get together for their union meetings. A survey of the National Farmers Union of Scotland found that it was common to come across discriminatory practices at farmers' gatherings which could leave the union open to legal action or exposure in the press. For example, the report highlights members indulging in sexist, homophobic and racist talk and the kind of pub chat inappropriate for a board meeting, but okay for a Friday night out at 10 o'clock. And I would add, in the 1970s. The report states, at some meetings there can be inappropriate comments. For example, Nicola Sturgeon, the only good thing about her is her legs. The guidance also warned against reinforcing sexist stereotypes as they will alienate people, and gives an example, saying encouraging men to come to the conference and saying bring your wife, the shopping is great in Glasgow, or discussing in a meeting what the housewife wants, is outdated and does not reflect much of society. It also urges farmers to avoid phrases like, what are you doing here? As it doesn't make people feel welcome. Yeah, that's right. Phrases that also make people feel not welcome include, but are not limited to, get out and you're not welcome. Things like that. And it says that derogatory comments about a particular political party or someone with it, with the assumption that everyone in the room votes in a particular way, not acceptable. This is the new National Farmers Union of Scotland. They've accepted a new guide on diversity and inclusion. The guide also says asking someone how many acres they have is an opener in a conversation makes people starting out or with a small farm not feel welcome. It says that the farmer is not necessarily a man. It can be a man or a woman. And sometimes people in leadership positions need to use the correct terminology. The report said that to make others feel included, meetings should be arranged for times other than evenings when people with childcare needs can't attend without having a babysitter. And before meetings start, the person in charge should control people who tend to dominate. And this is all written with, furious outrage, but I'll sum it all up for you. Hey, farmers, don't be chumps. I mean, would that be out of the question? Could you just try not being chumps? Farmers, it's not the 1970s anymore, even if your haircuts suggest that it is. 0345 6060 973. Manchester. Hello, Stephen.
Hello, Nick. How are you?
Good, thanks. Better.
I'm kind of thinking about Nicola Sturgeon's legs now. So,
well,
I would say more of a goat than.
Just as long as you don't do it in a farmers' meeting, that's okay.
Also, Lego. I don't know what's going on there. I mean, maybe you can tell me about that. But
what's going on with the Lego? Yeah,
have you not heard the Lego story?
Lego
Where have you
story.
been all day, Nick?
Wait a minute.
It's like now Lego is like LGBT because basically the big part of the Lego plugs into the little. I don't know. I don't want to get involved in it.
Oh
but,
my God! Lego isn't. Hang on a minute. I'm just reading this story. Lego isn't homophobic. It says.
Right. What's that all about? What's that all about?
To the surprise of millions of children. To the surprise of millions of children. I'll read up to the point where it fades out, and you've got to buy the rest of the article.
Oh, okay.
To the surprise of millions of children today, and to their parents who loved the toy when they were youngsters themselves,
it
turns out that Lego can be homophobic.
What?
This is the conclusion of a self-guided tour of the Science Museum in London. The tour, which explores stories of queer communities' experiences and identities, warns that the plastic blocks can also reinforce the idea that heterosexuality is the norm, as reported in the Daily Telegraph this morning. That Seeing Things Queerly tour, devised by the Gender and Sexuality Network, also cautions that Lego can create credence to the view that there are only two genders. What the hell are they talking about?
Hello, McFly. Do you know what I mean? I didn't get that today. Do you know what? I don't care anyway. I just got it. Comes over me. I was going to talk to you about something really different, but what's that all about?
I've got no idea.
I don't know.
Here we go. This is on our own website. LBC's.
Ed Miliband's not got nothing to do with it, has he?
A self-guided tour at the museum suggests that Lego bricks enforce the idea that heterosexuality is the norm.
Yeah. LGBT, something like that as well.
One sign says the top of the brick with sticking out pins is male. The bottom of the brick with holes to receive the pins is female.
I can see that.
And the process of the two sides being put together is called mating. This is heteronormative, the exhibition claims. The museum has not commented.
Have you not heard about this today?
No. This is news to me. I've been staring at news sites all day long. I haven't seen this. Maybe I've been looking at the wrong sites.
Totally gobsmacked by that. Listen, anyway, United beat Leicester.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but
no.
Listen. So, I've given you something to talk about there because I'm gobsmacked. I'm I think they spent £134,000 on this survey.
Well,
right.
I don't know that that's the case, but
well, check it out. But they spent a lot of money on this to come up with this. So, anyway, listen, I'm going to go now. Listen, it's wonderful talking to you, and so maybe I'll give you something to talk about. I don't know, but honestly, I haven't talked to you since you forgot about the girl with the bionic arm, and then they didn't do another Mad Max film. What they did was they made a film about the bionic arm girl. So do you remember that?
That was terrible film. Yeah.
Well, you said it was the best film you've ever seen in your life.
No, the previous, not the one that they just made. That was awful.
Well, I didn't watch it, Nick. Was it bad?
Yeah, really, really bad. Yeah, it was very, very disappointing.
I'll probably watch it at some point.
No, don't do it. Don't do it, Stephen. Save yourself.
Or something like that, wasn't it?
Furiosa. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Lovely talking to you.
Let's
talk about Lego. What the hell is that all about?
Don't ask me, mate. I just work here. All right. Thanks a lot, Stephen. The tour was created by the Gender and Sexuality Network, a group of staff and volunteers who say they are, quotes, committed to creating more visibility and inclusion for the LGBTQ plus community in the Science Museum. And I have to state one more time that how outrageous it is to condemn all of the people that don't fit in LGBT or Q as just plus. Offensive? What, you can't be bothered after you get through Q, and then everybody else is just a plus? How throwaway and casual is that? These are real people you're talking about here. Fiona McCanena. I? I'm sorry, I'm under a lot of heavy medication. Fiona McCanena, the director of campaigns at charity Sex Matters, told the Telegraph. She told the Telegraph.
Oh, no.
It's a trap, Fiona. She said, people expect to be informed, educated and inspired when visiting the Science Museum, not to have dubious claims rooted in gender ideology forced on them. OK, well, calm down. I don't think it's being forced on anybody. From what I can glean from this, it's a self-guided tour. In other words, you buy a little thing that looks like a Walkman and you put your headphones on and then it goes around. I would imagine that that's what it is. So you have to specifically request it. So you are most likely to be the kind of person that would welcome such explanation. I can't quite see it myself. It seems like a bit of a stretch that Lego is homophobic. I didn't know that. I just thought it hurt a lot when you stood on it in the dark. Well, I'll go to the bottom of my stairs. I actually don't have any stairs, but if I did, I would go to the bottom of them. 0345 6060 973. I mean, I'm all for inclusion and equality and all of that stuff, of course. But I get the feeling that some people are employed specifically to come up with things that no one had ever thought of before in order for other people to get angry about them. Really? Lego? Are you sure? 034... Wait till they discover Meccano.
Disgusting.
0345 6060 973. Friday, Saturday, Sunday night at 10. Nick Abbot, LBC.
This is LBC.
What number are you calling from?
0345 6060 973. Anne says, well, you're not going to like this. Anne says, I douche my nose every morning. It goes up one nose hole and out the other. It hurts, but it works. What do you mean, works? A consultant told me to do this, says Anne. I'm in my 10th year of doing so. I do it every day without fail. It makes the eyes water with pain, but clears all and stops coughing as well. I have to tell you, I just do not think that is a very good idea. Your nose wasn't made to pour salted water up it. It can't be. Isn't it sloshing around your brain and the back of your eyes? That just, I mean, I'm no doctor, and I know a person who's not a doctor either.
I'm not a doctor.
But it just doesn't seem like a very good idea. Paul says, I just wanted to remind you and your good listeners never to trust a man who wears a belt and braces. That man can't even trust his own pants. Who wears a belt and braces? And Heather says, how about you come into work on Saturday with half a dozen carrier bags stuffed full of the recommended items which callers suggested tonight, and then you can try them all as callers ring in again, maybe score them for efficiency and possibly find the cure live on air. Yeah, either that or I'll just die live on air. An overdose of garlic and ginger and I can't even remember what, and antihistamines and I think gin was in there as well, wasn't it? Eastbourne, hello Michael.
Oh, hello Nick. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Yes, you're going to be quite quick there. Sorry to hear about your throat problems.
Yeah.
I hope they're not a recurrence of your earlier viral.
No, well, I don't know. I've got no idea. But I have opened the window. You can maybe hear the thrum of the air conditioning units outside. And it seems to be better.
I wish nothing but the best for you. And incidentally, I've got a brand new combine harvester, and if you like, I'll give you the key.
That sounds great.
Yeah, but when it comes to Mr. Malodorous anal expulsion, in his first term, I spent the whole 4 years in an absolute rage. And I woke up every day thinking, God, what you said now.
Well, I did too, every single day. What's he done now?
Yeah. And I can't do it again. I just can't do it. I remember, at the time, I definitely had Trump derangement syndrome, And I have no social media, and I'm a committed Guardianista, and I only trust what I read in The Guardian, so good or bad. And I remember at the time a journalist deliberately planted a story online about Trump installing a channel on his TV where it was all about apes fighting. And he would sit there and watch gorillas having punch-ups, and, get down on his haunches, and and it was rubbish. It was rubbish, but it was just to illustrate the problem of Trump derangement syndrome. So this time around, I can't do it.
Yeah, but you're implying that you are deranged by Trump's actions unreasonably, by derangement syndrome. It sounds as though that you are concluding the worst without any justification.
Well, no, you say without any justification. There is justification for an
yes,
annoyance.
So you're not
Anger.
deranged.
Yes, I take your point, yeah. But again, I can't do it. My attitude now, I occasionally read stories,
Well,
not being
on social media is a boon, and I know I said this last week, and I started to take my own advice. This week, I've been on social media very, very little, because you can spend all day long just scrolling through, and doom scrolling they call it.
Yeah.
And, go from one awful thing to the next, and then you read the unhinged comments from the robots and all the rest of it. But the news doesn't really change throughout the day. All of the appalling stuff you'll get first thing in the morning, because America has been awake while we've been asleep. And so it will have happened already first thing in the morning, and then not much will happen for the rest of the day. During which time you can spend your entire life just staring at the screen, getting ever more appalled, or you can go out and do something more pleasant with your life, like go and commune with nature.
Yes. Well, the thing what I spoke to your operators about actually is incorrect. I was checking my facts just before I came on air, and what I told them was what I wanted to say to you was that I had read that Trump's pick for Attorney General was a woman who had a particular backstory, but I was wrong. When I checked, it's actually his pick for Surgeon General. But what the story was that when she was 13, she accidentally shot her father in the head. And as I thought that she was his pick for Attorney General, I thought it illustrated the questionable nature of his picks. I mean, he has picked some questionable people. But the story was that when she was 13, she was trying to find a pair of scissors, and she reached up onto a shelf and accidentally pulled off her father's fishing box with his gun on top, which fell on the floor and shot him in the head, and he died a couple of days later.
Right.
But as it's not the Attorney General, it kind of dilutes my point.
Well, not really, because it was an accident. She was 13. She went into I'm looking at that story right now. She went into the bedroom where her father was sleeping, reached for a fishing tackle box, like you said. In the darkened room, she accidentally knocked it over. Something fell out. There was a loud noise, and she shot her father. I mean, you can't blame her for that.
No, but it dilutes the irony of the point I was trying to make, which kind of irritates me. So, But as I say, I can't. I'm not going to do it again. My attitude to Trump now and to America, excluding the effect it's going to have on the rest of us.
Yeah, that's the problem, though, isn't it? That is the problem. America, what happens in America affects everybody else on Earth.
Yeah. But my attitude to America is, you knew what he was the first time, and you put him back in. So whatever you get is what you deserve.
Well, it's not nice.
God help the rest of us.
Yeah, exactly. It's not nice, and I don't like myself for doing it, but I do enjoy those videos of people who voted for Trump who are now crying into the camera on their phone that their decision has had the effect it's had the effect that people said it would. They said, do not vote for this man because of the following reasons. And then they're expressing shock that all of that just came true.
Unbelievable. This whole DEI problem that he has, and he said in that speech there's only two sexes, and to blame that crash, to politicise that crash.
Well, that's who he is.
Blame it.
That's who he is.
Unbelievable. Yeah. It is. But they knew that, but they re-elected him.
Because, it's the same thing as behind the popularity of some people in this country. It's people don't like foreigners. and they want simple answers to complicated questions. People voted in great number because their grocery bills had gone through the roof under Joe Biden. And under Joe Biden, of course, it was all Joe Biden's fault when the price of eggs had shot up. And now the price of eggs are even more expensive, and everything else in their shopping basket is more expensive. Then it has nothing to do with Donald Trump. These are outside forces that he has no control over, and 86,000 different excuses that they're trying to dream up as to why they've done this. They've shot themselves in the foot again.
I know. But I did mention to your phone operators that I do have a joke for you, and I know you don't like joke. I know you don't like listeners with material. I know that, but I heard this joke. There's a really I don't know if you know it. There's a really serious program on Netflix called Three Body Problem.
No, I don't know.
It's good. It's a thriller, an intergalactic. It's pretty good. It's pretty tense, and I've just got one episode left to watch. But anyway, in the middle of it was this joke. Right, okay, now tell me what you think, because normally when I tell a joke, I'm from the Max Wall school of comedy, so I never laugh at my own joke. So when I tell a joke, people don't realise I'm joking.
Are you wearing tights as you speak? You are?
Yes,
right.
And Dr. Martens and a big black wig.
Right.
And I'm dancing arthritically around the room.
Okay, that is good. Now, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will allow you to do the setup, and then I'll think about whether you can do the punchline.
Okay. All right. Trust me, it's not distasteful or abusive.
Well, now that makes me think that it's distasteful and abusive.
No, honestly, trust me.
Right.
Trust me. Okay,
trust you?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well, my name is...
Wait a minute. Wait. Here comes the setup. Go ahead.
I was going to say my name is Michael, which means who is like God, so trust me. Okay. The setup. A Mexican man pushes his wife off a cliff.
Is that it?
And that's the setup.
That's the setup. Okay. Now, do I want to hear the punchline of a Mexican guy pushes his wife over a cliff?
No.
Yeah, it's a no from me. But thanks for trying, Michael. You certainly were. Appreciate the call. 0345 6060 973. Now I want to know what the punchline is, but we'll never find out. Oh, well, never mind.
Mind telling me what this is all about?
It's all about a nostril cleaner called the Sterimar Breathe Easy. Lorraine texts that try the Sterimar Breathe Easy. It's easier than a neti pot. An NHS consultant prescribed it for me, but it's very cheap, says Lorraine. And unfortunately, it comes with a picture of somebody using said product. Oh, was that really necessary? There's a nice lady who's got this thing stuck up one nostril and water is coming out the other.
Disgusting.
Oh, no one needs to see that. Norman says the relationship between Trump and Musk won't last, given that the orange blob says he's been sent by God. I wonder if he'll ultimately be crucified on the cross of Twitter. Yeah, I can't imagine it's going to end well for either of them. Fraser texts, you love berating Trump, who is less than 3 weeks into term. Many use the excuse that Labour is only 6 months in not to judge them too harshly. Trump is totally unconventional in the way he operates. He doesn't care what anybody thinks or says about him. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does. He cares about that more than anything else except money. You don't know him very well, Fraser. He says, your emotional response says more about you than him. My emotional response. And it affects your mental health way more than it does his, says Fraser. It's not affecting my mental health at all. Look past the exceedingly stupid things he says Fraser, and wait for the end result. You might very well get your reason to comment, but you are a bit premature. Stop stirring emotions. I'll sum that up for you. Yeah, he's one of those guys who thinks that Donald Trump is playing 5D chess. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Richmond, hello, Phil.
Hi, Nick. just before I tell you my little story, the Mexican guy throws his wife off the cliff.
Now, I just stopped the other guy from telling that joke. And you're going to come in and finish it for him? No. You got anything else? Have you got anything else? Have you got anything else?
Yes, of course. Okay. You want the real story?
Yeah. Anything else?
Okay. True story. Just a few weeks ago, last month, a very good friend of mine passed away, and in London. But she was American by birth, but she worked. We're both journalists, retired, and she passed away last month. And her brother came over from the States to clean up our flat in London. You know, you can imagine what it's like cleaning your sister's stuff up. But he called me up and he came over to see me because, you know, he knew we were friends. And he said, despite my grieving and my loss, and my tears, I actually burst out laughing once when I was cleaning out her flat. I said, what happened? He said, well, I was in her toilet and I found the toilet brush. And he said the handle was not straight handle like you normally have. It was kind of carved. It was in the shape of Donald Trump with a big blue suit and a big belly and a red tie that went down to his knees. And the hair of the brush, the bristles, was Donald Trump's hair.
Haircut, right.
That's it. That's all.
That is a beautiful picture you just painted for us there, Phil.
Thank you, sorry.
and hygienic, too. Thanks a lot, mate. 0345 6060 973. Matt texts the following word. Tequila. What's that got to do with anything? Why has he said tequila?
Can't believe just given that a punchline.
Oh. Oh, I've been duped. Christ texts the one or A? I'm going with A. Says, fun fact, Lego figures live in houses made of their own flesh. I suppose they do. And on that subject, Austin says they should rename it Legover. More listeners with material.
Oh,
no. 0345 6060 973. Huddersfield. Hello, Darren.
Hi.
Darren.
This Lego thing, it's showing how much of a lunatic asylum Britain's coming.
Well, it just seems a little left field. Let's put it like that.
Oh, it seems mental, and the people that are coming up with it, unless I'm getting mistaken, are starting to come across dumber than a blonde, and I'm not talking just a natural blonde.
Dumber than a blonde? Did you just say that?
Yeah.
Okay, say goodbye, Darren. Martin says, this is not the 1970s, Darren, catch up. Martin says, have you wondered whether your declining health during broadcast hours has anything to do with voodoo dolls and that Meghan Markle? Well, I don't know why she would have it in for me. And Will says, is 5D chess anything like whack-a-mole or buckaroo? yeah, it's exactly that, yeah. Cumbernauld. Hello, Andrew.
Oh, hello, Nick. Just to make a suggestion.
Yes.
That you add to your soundboard for all the terrible joke punchlines, so that if you ever get caught out like that again, you can just go. You can hit that.
I can make entire sentences up.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I was also going to suggest that if your top is a workplace health and safety issue, you need to get your union rep to sort you out and help you out.
Union? What union would I be a member of?
I have no idea, but I presume there's probably a broadcast union you could join.
Right.
And you'll have a workplace health and safety rep.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe there was some sort of dust in here, and I stirred it up by I don't know. I've got no idea really, but it seems to be better now. I've got the window open.
Yes, or either that, you need a little half bottle of whiskey into the studio with you tomorrow.
Well, you know what? I did think of mixing whiskey and cough mixture.
Whiskey, honey, lemon.
Yeah, cough
hot
mixture.
water. Yeah.
And people were appalled. The people that I suggested that to, they acted as though they'd never heard of anything so awful. But that sounds like a pretty good idea to me. Whiskey mixed with cough mixture.
Or whiskey with honey and lemon.
Right. No, but I'm talking about actual cough mixture.
Actual cough mixture isn't an alcohol in cough mixture anyway.
Oh, well, double the benefit.
Yes. And by 11 o'clock, you'll be in no pain at all.
Yes, exactly. And probably off the air. Yeah.
And did you, if I can extend my stay with you just briefly, did you hear the conspiracy theory that it was actually a Secret Service agent that accidentally killed JFK?
No. Accidentally?
Yes. It was somebody, a Secret Service agent that was riding in the car behind JFK's limo. And when they heard shots being fired, he picked up their AR-15 rifle and it went off, and that was the fatal shot that killed JFK.
Well, where are the shots that got fired?
Well, they reckon that the shots were possibly actually fired from the book depository.
Right.
But they didn't actually cause the fatal shot. But the Secret Service agent reacting to those shots picked up the standard issue rifle, and it went off by mistake and ended up killing him.
And where did you get that information from?
This was a documentary called The Smoking Gun.
And on which channel did you see that?
I saw it on Channel 4, I think it was.
4?
Yeah.
Blimey.
It was an Australian detective, retired Australian detective, that reinvestigated it, and it was based on a book that was published originally in the 1970s. It didn't get a lot of interest at the time, and it basically replicated the results that the original author had found. And when they plotted the trajectory backwards from the frame on the Zapruder film, it led straight back to the rear seat of the follow-up Secret Service vehicle right behind the presidential limousine.
I thought that Trump promised that he was going to release all the files that they had so that we could all see for ourselves, and then nothing happened.
And I also thought that he said at one point also that because there were names in those files of people that were still around, he couldn't actually publish them. He promised originally in 2016 that yes, I'm going to release all this stuff, but when he actually got his feet under the White House desk, he said, no, I can't actually put, when he actually saw anything himself, or he got advice from other people, he said, no, there's too many people mentioned in those files that are still around. You can't release these things, or you have to redact so much of it that it's meaningless. So he said, oh, well, I won't then.
Right.
He had to take out, we'd have had to take out so much it was basically meaningless, so he ended up not doing it.
Well, he certainly didn't do it in order to protect other people, because, you know, that's not it.
When would he ever care?
Exactly right, yeah. Well,
you'll be able to find that online on an internet near you, so...
Oh, near
that
me?
Film,
oh, well, you should have said.
Yes, that film is, I guess, available online to anyone that wants to watch it. It's interesting, even if you don't believe it, it's certainly interesting.
Right. Okay, good work. Thanks a lot, Andrew.
Right, no worries.
Here is that information. The decades-long wait for the release of the government's secret files on the assassination of President John F. Kennedy could be nearing an end, with a word from the Office of the Director of National Intelligence that a plan to make the documents public has been delivered to the White House under an order from President Trump. In accordance with the President's executive order, ODNI, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, submitted its plan to the White House. A spokesman for the office said, this is today, right? However, it remains unclear how soon thousands of assassination-related documents will actually be declassified. The executive order the president signed last month required only the delivery of a plan by Friday's deadline for the full and complete release of records relating to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. So Trump said that they have to deliver a plan to release the information, not to actually release the information. Got it. Researchers and authors have expressed the hope that a national security establishment that has historically insisted on secrecy and dragged its heels for years on such requests from others would be spurred to fast action by Donald Trump. Yeah, well, I'm not going to hold my breath. Well, because in my condition, it would probably kill me, apart from anything else.
Come on, we're running late.
We are running late. The Wirral. Hello, Nora.
Hiya. I'm not on the Wirral.
Where are you?
I'm in Jersey.
Jersey. Oh, that's
tax haven.
Yeah, well, it is that. Yeah, that's a whole world away from the Wirral.
It is, well, yeah, it's a fight, but yes, I'm back on Saturday. I've been working here, so.
Oh yes.
Anyway,
doing evil things with other people's tax affairs.
A teacher.
What's Jersey like? It's a bit like going back in time, I bet.
It's tax havens go. It's nice. The people here are very nice. They're all sort of, well, they're all happy, aren't they? And, you know, quite wealthy and.
I don't know. Does that bring happiness? I'm not sure. I mean, the richest man in the world doesn't seem very happy. He seems demented occasionally. He seems unsatisfied. Happy? I wouldn't really say happy.
There's a tipping point, isn't there? It sort of mitigates unhappiness until the point where you've got too much, and then you just want more. Then, I suppose.
Well, it does strike me as being weird that those people who have more money than they could possibly ever spend, if they just made spending money their job, they would never get through it. The only thing they seem to be interested in is making more money, which seems like an illness to me. I mean, at what point do you think I'm going to enjoy what money I've got now, rather than going hell for leather, trying to make more of it? For what purpose? I mean, how's it going to make you happier?
They must just get in their zone, mustn't they? It's like these people who are fit, and then they just can't stop being more and more fit. It's just they just get in the zone and they can't move out of it. So.
Well, I guess you get addicted to the high of exercise. That is true, yeah. But it does benefit. It does benefit you in some way. That the fitter you get, on average, the healthier and happier you are. But I don't think that applies with money, though. I mean, people throw around the words million and billion, but it's very difficult to understand quite how much more than a million is a billion. Until you break it down into something that we're all familiar with, like seconds, for instance. A million seconds is 11.5 days. Guess how many a billion seconds is?
I know it's years, but I can't remember how many.
37 years.
Yeah.
37 years.
And yet people use them as though they're interchangeable.
They do.
Millions or billions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This isn't what I rang to discuss.
Okay.
Interesting though it is.
Yeah.
I just wondered why nobody ever mentions the oil and gas reserves off Gaza, the Gaza coast. Because surely that's the big impetus, isn't it, to get to Gaza, to take possession of Gaza. And, nice to make it a seaside resort as well.
Right.
But surely that's what they want access to, but nobody ever mentions that.
Well, I wasn't aware that there were great reserves of oil and gas off the coast of Gaza.
There are conflicting reports. Some reports say loads, others say not so much. So I don't know, without going down there and looking, I don't know how you'd find out. But it would account for why people are so desperate to take possession of it.
Yeah.
Like the east of Russia's full of minerals, and that's why Putin wants that as well.
Right. Well, that's why.
Ukraine.
That's why
Ukraine. I meant.
Yeah, that's why Trump wants Greenland.
Yeah.
Is because the melting ice up there is bringing forth all sorts of treasure that he would love to get his hands on.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, they have gold and oil and precious metals and minerals and you name it, they got it.
I just think as well, you know, when you have these little sit-downs with people and chat and invite them to come and, I think we'd have to discuss that. Do you think they just give them a backhander and say, right, put that in your crypto money box?
Well, he's so open. Yeah, he's so open about it that there doesn't seem to be any doubt. He took a meeting with oil executives. All of the biggest oil companies in the world were represented there, and he said, "I'll give you anything you want. All of the regulations about pollution and all of that stuff. We're just going to tear them up. All you got to do is give me $1 billion."
Yeah.
I mean, that's not in doubt. That happened. $1 billion. What's surprising is that the executive said no. I mean, they gave him a ton right enough to make him want to drill. But, I mean, there's no... He's led a life of no consequence at all, and nothing he has done has ever come with consequences. So he feels completely comfortable saying the quiet part out loud. I mean, most famously, he said, I could stand on Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody, and you'd still vote for me. And that's true, too. So believe him the first time when he tells you what he is, who he is, and what he's going to do, because that is usually the unfiltered, as much as it's possible to get any from him, truth.
Yeah. He's transparent without meaning to be, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which is why when he said, as part of his Look at Me, I'm Great speech when he won, congratulations to Elon Musk. Nobody knows more about vote counting machines than Elon Musk, he said. Yeah. I think that was it, word for word. And nobody said a word about it. Nobody said a bean about that. It struck me as a bit weird.
Yeah, there's another clip where he said something similar, and then he starts going on about Elon Musk's ketamine habits.
Did he?
You would not want to trust him with a secret.
At all. No. Or anything, in fact. I wouldn't trust him with my dog, and I don't even have a dog.
Yeah. You know, I've joined your fan club this week, by the way, on Facebook. Oh, it's brilliant. I bet you don't look at it, but it's really good.
I just don't look at Facebook. I forget it's there. Like, I forget that Instagram is there, although I posted 4 pictures from my trip to Kew the other day because I remembered, Instagram. I haven't thought about that in, well, it could be a year or more.
There's such a nice bunch on there.
Are they?
Long may it continue.
Right. Well, hello, bunch.
Oh, I love that.
All right.
Love that.
Thanks a lot, Nora.
Good night.
Ta-ra. 0345 6060 973. Mike texts, the 3-body film is a Chinese film. It surprises me Netflix shows it because of national security in the USA. Well, you mean... See, this is the problem with text is I can't cross-examine you or ask you or quiz you about it, but I don't really understand what that means. It surprises you that Netflix shows a Chinese film because of national security, or the Chinese film might break national security in the USA? Don't know. Sally, via Alexa, says, Mr. Trump wants to get the papers on Area 54. Well, I'm sure he could. If he wanted, he could just do his big boy squiggle on another piece of paper and they'd deliver it to him with a Diet Coke. The papers on Area 54. Well, I think after such a long period of time, if there was anything in Area 54 that was remotely alien, we would know about it by now because, I mean, it's like the moon landings thing. I know somebody personally who believes that the moon landings were faked.
Yeah.
And that just blows my mind because don't you think that at some point in the intervening period that at least one person who had worked on such a colossal fake would bring some scintilla of evidence that they had kept, maybe. They'd taken a Polaroid, something, but nothing. None of those people. So, I mean, come on. Tom texts, always listen back the next day, but tune in live from Dublin on the app every now and then. Just found the HD button. There's an HD button. He says, I thought you were just a bit fluey normally, but you're clear as a whistle now. It's like you're on a mobile from another country. Mobile from another country, coming through clear as a bell. He says, thanks, says Tom. Also, tell Jonathan to give you a call. I'm not his boss. I'm not the boss of him. And Aldo texts, nerd alert, 31 years and 8 months, not 37 years. Right. Wrong prime number. There are 31.5 million seconds in a year, so you can kind of remember 31 for both. I won't remember anything of the sort. But that's the remarkable thing about a million and a billion, because Nora was right. You do use them interchangeably, and you don't quite get a sense of how much bigger a billion is than a million, until it's broken down into bite-sized chunks that we're all familiar with. A million seconds is 11 and a half days. A billion seconds is 31 years. That's a lot of moolah. Now, if you missed any of tonight's show, you can listen to me almost dying at the beginning of the program. It's available on Global Player. It's exclusive to Global Player. You'll find all of LBC's shows to catch up on there. And the thing to ask for, if you want the podcast of this show, is Nick Abbott, The Whole Show Podcast. If you haven't got Global Player, it's free. Get it from your app store or globalplayer.com. I'll be back tonight at 10. Coming up at 4, Henry Riley. But first, here's Clyde Ball. It's 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 Clyde Ball.